Hello and welcome to the DFS underscore PhD show for today, 4th of July, as I checked the date like 5 times since I've been up for like 5 hours. Remember, you're good enough, you're strong enough, and gosh darn it, someone's got to win that money. Might as well be us. Oh yeah. Got our second ticket to the Queen of the Court, even though they are not paying a live final advance, which I have to say, DraftKings, what? Like you're paying out live final advances for the Madden Sims, but not for the Queen of the Court. Treating women differently, huh? You're inviting a little bit of criticism there. Now, I'm not going to make it, beyond just in this video, but what are we doing? Give me my money. You owe me like $1,000. And every other time I've been in a live final, you've paid the advance when there's a minimum prize. Whatever, it's fine. We'll have a money day 2 weeks from Tuesday or something. But that was fun, and I want to say thank you to Odyssey, to RK, to Brittany Griner, to Natasha Howard, and I guess JC Sheldon did enough, but geez, could have done a little bit more. Win me freaking $10,000, JC. But Beck Allen, play questionable people when they're not questionable. I am going to talk a little bit about the WNBA at the end, just so you guys know, although overwhelmingly still the baseball is preferred to WNBA, so I'm going to talk about baseball first. But then, also baseball happens pretty early today. So yeah, we'll talk more about the WNBA in a second. I don't know what this page is. Where's my control tab button? There we go. So now a little bit of contest review from yesterday. Just looking, make sure, earlier we had the lesson to kind of widen your salaries a little bit. And that's not the case yesterday. In the big tournament yesterday, I guess it's a big slate, so that's worth considering. But 50,000, 49.7, 49.8, 50,000, 50,000, 49.8, 50,000, 49.7. Nobody's leaving that much money on the table. So I don't know if those people got lucky for a little while or whatever. Stack wise, 5-3, 5-3, 3-2, 5-3, 5-3, 5-2, 5-2, 4-2, 4-4, 4-3. So some fours up there at the very top. I'm still not doing stat constraints. I just feel like, I don't know, for me, there's a lot of luck in baseball. Like a lot. It just doesn't feel like good when you're at the top because like 10 guys had to hit a billion home runs or whatever. So yeah, I'll stop yammering about that. I will say you can avoid the weather and you can make sure that you are taking a responsible amount of leverage of different teams. It's the best you can do in baseball, and then play a zillion lineups, play the 50 cent. That's my favorite contest this year. It's like $25,000 total. Sometimes it's even I think 2,000 up top sometimes. So, and then like the top two prices are 1,000, which is what you need to get the Saberson free month, which maybe what I'm grinding here for in MLB at this point. This just seems like, I don't know. I had a hit on my birthday, what, 3 or 4 years ago, but it's been a while since I've had a big hit here in MLB. And come on, man, let's have a little bit of last inning luck or whatever we need. Yellow and orange. Yeah, so the only one I'm actually Xing out for now. Doesn't completed, but doesn't go 9 innings. So they think a short game in Detroit and Minnesota means probably can't take either side. It's not going to be great for pitching. It's not. I mean, I guess you could take some shares of Ober, but he's the highest projected pitcher on the slate at 32%. Might get rained out. What's the timeline here? Might start dry, but I think it's unlikely they can get 9 innings in. So what time is it now? We're getting kind of close to these game times, right? Oh, geez. All right. So good luck watching this video in the 1 hour I gave you. I thought the slate was at like one. I gotta get these lineups in. All right. So yeah, good to know. I was wondering why everybody had their why so many check marks were here. That makes sense because it's time. So yes. Let me just do this real quick. Go over here to lineups. Where's my lineups? Do I have a lineups thing? Yeah, here we go. And then open up my baseball lineups. Just to make sure. Oh, did I only put in 10? I don't know if that's 10 or 5 or whatever. I'm not thrilled about the slate, but just make sure I get whatever I do have in there. Download. Bing bong. Okay. Now we will have, well, I guess I'm only taking 5 lineups. All right, well, good to know. Okay, so be a little bit more strict with my pool here. I'll still leave my pool here for like it's more lineups, but then in the end, I am going to cut it to 5. Or I'll go enter more. I don't, one or the other. Probably just going to keep it at 5 because I don't know. It's like so close to lock now. There can't be good lineups. Okay, but pitcher wise, what was I was constraining it to, yeah, just these top guys. There's no real reason to get cute. It's not like the last slate we had a couple of min price guys. I guess there were recent call-ups or something that were pretty good plays, decent plays, at least in GPPs. Here, I guess, I don't know. What are my maxes? I want to see what my exposures are. 80%. Okay, that's what we always do. We come over here, we go maximum exposure. They're pitchers. 40% chance they get there. The rest of the chance blow up, get crushed, right? So that's like for a really good pitcher, I want to have a bunch of 40s and then spread around some 20s. Yeah, that's all fine. 5 lineups, that's the 40s and the 20s. Team stacks, I don't like going real high, but I mean, it's so few lineups. I do want to lean into whatever edge this is. I'll say 40s, my highest for here. Maybe I'll let Cleveland go to 60. San Diego, no. You don't go to 60. Okay, Cleveland, yeah. I'll let Cleveland be in a slight majority. That will do, Pig, for baseball. Not much to say about it. I mean, you got a bunch of the same pitchers, right? And you got a bunch of the same teams. Like when I look at the so don't pretend if you feel like you have edge, lean into that. But for me, look at these projected run totals. How many teams are within like 0.4 of 4.8, right? I mean, or I don't know. It's like half the slate is in play for, for stacking. Maybe even, I mean, maybe everybody. Because all the pitchers are fine, but none of them are like dominant. I mean, Ober's good, Pavetta's good, but then you got like King, Sanchez, Bassitt, Lively, Scherzer, Stroman, Taillon, fine, but 1/3 chance all of them get bashed, right? So, it just feels like throwing darts this year. Like, I pick one pitcher and then I get smashed. So I'm just not going to pick a pitcher. I don't have a preference here. I'm going to go throw darts between Pivetta, King, Sanchez, Bassitt. I guess Taillon, but I don't care if you choose Lively. I don't care if you choose Stroman. I don't care if you choose Scherzer. I just don't care. These pitchers are all fine this year. There's no big matchup. I'm not going to in the past on those videos last year and stuff, I had leaned into this or that splits in the past in my life. I leaned to this or that splits. I no longer do that. I've been convinced by a statistical argument that unless you have a mechanism for why you think a day night or home away or whatever type of split should be there. And I mean, sometimes there's stadium differences, maybe more for basketball, I guess, like the way it looks behind the clear hoop could matter, but I guess it could matter in baseball too. I don't know. I just don't. I don't. When you get to smaller data sets, the thing you have is a less confident data set, right? So if you have, like, for instance, let's take home away. You may have this or that trend, but what you definitely have is a 1 over square root of 2 change to your error. So whatever your error used to be is much higher now. Anyway, I like making that point, so I just horned it in there. It's kind of out of nowhere. But yeah, this baseball slate's kind of fine. I'm gonna watch the baseball, but mostly to take naps in between meals on July 4th, not because it's like compelling, sports gambling. So good luck to everybody on the baseball slate. I'm moving on. I'm tired of talking about it. Really, I wish you guys were more into the ladies basketball. So I'm gonna give a little bit of ladies basketball talk now. So we've got for the women's basketball slate, we have two big pieces of news on the slate, which are Dolson questionable and Tiffany Hayes questionable. I guess Tiffany Hayes news is not really that big, except that she's projected wrong on underdog. So that's like for the underdog game, there are several things to know. Actually, yeah, let me pull up. I had it. Was I tweeting that or yeah, I did a random kind of good tweet that like I didn't give a chance for you guys to see. So let me go here into my tweets from like a little while ago on underdog. Yeah, here we go. Virtues of underdog or whatever. So first of all, if you take a questionable player, you get to replace them with your preferred player if they weren't taken in the draft. So for instance, one thing that's happened a few times today is I've taken a questionable Tiffany Hayes in the last round. So number one, it's a personal engagement. Everybody knew about it. She's definitely going to be back, and 0 is the wrong projection. So whenever you have a big projection difference, you should lean into it. But even if she missed again, you would get to replace her with the best possible replacement. So that's pretty awesome. Um, Besides that, you have a pretty good rake, 5.5%. If you play a lot of DraftKings, 5.5% makes you go, huh, let me go look over here a little bit and play some of this game because it's a lot higher. Like it's at least a lot. So that's because of the rake back. I'm counting the rake back for regular play because I'm going to play regularly. I like these contests. Known ownership. So let's say today there's two games. So it's a four-person competition. And that means all the major players are going to be 25% owned. So if you're making a big stand, you know exactly what your stand is. You don't have to like pay for whatever projections. I'll tell you, 25%, 25%, 25%, everybody in the first four rounds of this draft. Last couple rounds, maybe you get like not 100% coverage, and then you can take some darts on people who like Tiffany Hayes, we just talked about, low owned, projected completely wrong, probably only going to be covered in like, I don't know, 25, 50% of drafts. There's also no run back needed. You don't have to play people from both games on this two-game set. You can play like one of these games has a lot higher projection, right? Like if you go to whatever ESPN is gambling now, right? So you can just go to ESPN and look at the WNBA, and it will give me the scores for today with, I would presume, the line. Yeah, so the line, wow, it's moved even more. So last night it was 150 and like 169 when Cody did his video. And always you should start there. Go look up Cody Repas, check out his videos. Love the way he sets up the slate. But when he made the video, it was like 169. This line has gotten higher. And I don't think the spread's gotten bigger. I think it's just there are more points for everybody. So yeah, there's a lot of points in the second game. 22.5 more points than in the other game. So yeah, the other game's closer, but you need it to go to how many overtimes, right? Like you need to go to like 3 overtimes. So yeah, it should be close. You need it to be very close. But you can play just Washington and Vegas people. And I've got drafts like that today. Like let's go look at uh how can I look at actual drafts? Well, I'll pull up anyway, I have made actual drafts today that are just the game with all the points because why would you don't have to force one in. It's not part of the rules. Was there any other points I wanted to make? Oh yeah, forced lineup diversity. So another reason that I pay for SaberSim for DraftKings is because they break my the correlations that I would make that I would otherwise be kind of, it makes a brittle data set if you have unwanted and unknown correlations in there. And by having other people with their needs and their wants, it breaks up a lot of your correlations that would have just been there in the back of your mind in your rankings that are not firm sets. So yeah, number one, don't play the same rankings if you're running 150 lineups. You should change them a lot, change them to cover different scenarios, run 51 way. Like for instance, today we have the big news on Dolson. Run 75 one way, 175 the other way. Whatever you think the chances are, I think it's a new piece of news, so maybe better chance she sits than otherwise. Otherwise, why would she have said it? So, that's Laplace's rule of succession restated it slightly. But okay, so I think we said all we need to say on the game itself. If a player is marked out, don't play them. But I don't think we have anybody like that today. So up at the top, it's easy to say Asia and Fee are the best two players on the slate. Don't get cute. 1 and 2, you play them. Beyond there, it's like in the middle, it's kind of a scrum. I don't really care about any of these rankings. If you want a little bit different one way or another, I've changed them. I've run them that way. I don't have strong feelings until we get down to Maisha Hines Allen and Shatori Walker Kimbrough. These are wrong projections. So Maisha Hines Allen, even if Dolson's in, should be projected for 27.5. So she's off by at least 6. I think if Dolson's out, probably projected for 32 or something, like 10 more. Shatori, I mean, same deal. Like, what are we doing? I mean, like, her median's probably 30. I mean, her average might be lower just because she'd go for 0 if she misses all her shots. But she is going to take, like, look at that middle game, right? If I could pull up the ESPN, I guess I can. I can go to Washington and I can look up what's her shooting because I'll tell you what I know. She took a bunch of shots in that game. Any player who's going to take like every shot, I don't even really care if they miss the shots, you know? You were there. You had a chance if they made their shots. You know what I mean? Like they're basketball players. They're professionals. She's practicing a lot to make sure that today she doesn't miss those shots. You know what I mean? So it's just 1 for 5. Now in 33 minutes, I tell you what, good luck getting her to only take 5 shots in 33 minutes. What'd she do in the very next game? It's got to be like a billion more shots than that. She's so aggressive offensively. I just do not believe that there's any chance she takes that few shots in 33 minutes ever again. Next game, 28 minutes, 10 shots, five threes. So she just must not have been feeling confident or something, but I'm way, way, way into Shatori Walker-Kimbrough. I don't know why it's not updating. It doesn't update your draft percent as often as you would like it to. It's like once an hour or something. So it's a little hard if you're drafting a lot to keep track of where you're at. But yeah, I think she's the biggest mispriced of the slate. I think 10 off at least. So for me, I'm going to get to a lot of MHA and Shatori Walker-Kimbrough with the current projections. Keep an eye, though. They might bump those projections. If Dolson misses shoot around or something, you might see them bump those by 5, 6, 7, 10. Dolson's projection. Clearly wrong. 34.4 is a lot. I love Big Mama. She's great at playing basketball, but that's not a median. That's the median of the last 3 games. But no, that's not her long-term median. Her long-term median is going to be like 27 and a half, even in this offense. Yes, I see Shakira Austin is out. Yes, I see she's playing 32 to 34 minutes. She's still got to hit threes. I mean, like to get to this, she's hitting the threes. She's leading the WNBA in threes. But do you think Steph Dolson is the best shooter in the WNBA? Do you? If so, I'd encourage you to continue watching the WNBA until the end of the year because I don't think that will continue to be the case. She's really good. I mean, like, I'm not trying to, I would love it. It would be really cool for a big to lead the WNBA in 3-point percent, shooting the volume she does. She's shooting a ton of threes. I'm not at all like saying, oh, I know the future or whatever. But I think she will regress to the mean, and if only because people will cover her eventually, right? I mean, like, who else is there to cover on this team? Right? It's Washington. So, like, if you need to cover somebody, right? Like, if this game stayed close, well, they do. They just like double stepples. What in the world is that? When you have children, find an etch a sketch flies at you somewhere. I don't know what that's about. Okay, but yeah, here at the bottom, here's the other place we got to make a few calls. Currently, I'm doing my what if Dolson kind of plays drafts because what was it? Because Edwards is projected for 25 and a half, and that's just a little high. Like they had her, I think, even a little higher earlier. And yeah, that's maybe a good median for if Dolson sits, but there's a possibility Dolson plays. So I don't know. I'm not thrilled with that projection on Edwards. So I'm not getting to a lot of her right now. And I'm leaving Dolson in there like around 20. What is this? 15, 16, 20. I like her in the end of the fourth, early fifth round if you can get her that low, because then what if she does, goes to shoot around or starts. If she plays, she's fine. I expect like what, 30? Something like that as a median, 28. It's still a good play. She's better than like Chelsea Gray, who's going to get, I don't know, 26 minutes maybe pushes for 32, but that feels more like a ceiling than a median. So, like, and same with Edwards. I don't know what we're doing with the back injury. Are we going to manage it? They managed Shakira, and then Shakira got hurt, so they might manage her even more. I, I think Dejanay, the reason I have Dejanay and Courtney Williams down here, I just think these are appropriate projections. So, I'm not going to, I'll get them when they come to me, but I'm not going to force them in there. Same thing with Carrollton, Bridget Carlton, however you say that. I've heard it said different ways on the TV. She's fine, but like, 5 to 15%, she's a shooter, take some shots. I don't know what we're doing with Vanloo here. Like, yeah, like you can't say your median is the last game, right? I mean, that's basically what 26.9 is. There's no chance that's a median for her for this. I mean, no way. She hit a zillion threes in the last game. I remember I watched it. So it probably killed me. But I don't remember for sure that it killed me, but yeah, it's one of those things where like when it's going real bad and you can't pin it down exactly how, but you just know it's really bad. Because for instance, Julie Vanloo, she's in the fifth round, but everybody's drafting her, right? So if I'm only drafting like 0% today, right? So in the back of my mind, I'm gonna know the ship is sunk if Julie Vanloo scores 30 today, right? Like she's projected to, because I don't project that. I project Julie Vanloo for like 17 and a half. So I got her the other way, minus 12 or something, completely just like, I'm just never going to get to her as long as they have this bogus projection by her name. And same thing with Ty Harris. Like, I just don't know. 26.2 with the minutes thing, right? The minutes tick down, I don't got a reason for it. I don't like that. I don't like it when I don't got a reason for it. I don't like it at all. So I think she could smash against Washington. It's a great spot for her. Wait, no, Minnesota. I don't. 26.2 is too high of a projection. I would have her more 20, 21. Stokes, same deal. Hurst, you know what? Maybe I take Hayes above these guys. Yeah, I like Hayes a little better than I have her currently projected. Might even like her, yeah, better than Vanloo. Better than Engsler? Yeah, because of the certainty. I'm more certain she plays. Okay. So I'm going to take a lot more Tiffany Hayes with this last pick and a lot less Engsler just because I got a lot of Engsler guys. I was pushing for it as soon as we got news about Dolson being questionable. And that's how you should do it, right? When the news comes out, it hasn't filtered all the way through yet, and people haven't thought about all the ramifications yet. And so they got to wait for Cody's video or whatever. And so that's the time to get those plays, get the Aaliyah Edwards' yesterday, get before they change her projection, get Maisha Hines-Allen and Tori Walker-Kimbrough. Why is that still happening? I don't understand why her projection's still low. That's nothing to do with Dolson. That's just like a mistake. I don't. She could start today and play 38 minutes. Tori Walker-Kimbrough. Would anybody? That's like possibly the right thing to do for their franchise. She's really fun. But yeah, we're still only showing 28 teams. Maybe I'll look at the specific teams. Oh, maybe I'll try to do a draft. Okay, here we go. Cool. So here's my updated draft percent. I've been telling you I love Maisha Hines-Allen. I've also been telling you I got a little too much Emily Engsler, and now you can see 55%. We backed up the truck. The truck is full. We're fine with the amount that is in the truck of our Emily Engsler. Same thing with our Alana Smith. It's fine. Was it showing all the? No, I thought it was showing all the lineups over here. That'd be cool. There's a couple of opportunities. Like I'm not able to analyze the board associated with an old draft very easily. Sound off in the comments if you're an underdog guy and you know how to do that. But I'd love to do that. But yeah, you can see these are exactly number one. You can see I'm 40% Asia Wilson. So lucky day, like this is a slate with no second. I mean, it's like Asia and Fee and the rest. It's like, and each of them's 10 points, right? Like it's like 10 points bonus to getting Asia, 10 points to getting Fee. I got like what, 70% first and second. Should have 50%. That's how math works. So this is a lot of drafts. So through 40 teams, that's a pretty big advantage. I don't think it's going to calm down. Should be a good day unless I've messed it up very badly by skewing so heavily towards the Dolson out scenario. I do have one share of Dolson, as you can see. I got her in the 5th round. I love it. I'll take any of those shares I can get because those teams are also incredible and weirdly constructed. Let's have a look maybe at some teams, or let me try to draft one time. This didn't work last time I tried to do it on stream, but I also got to get out of here because the baseball slate starts in like an hour. So let me just look at some results. No, this is going to be wrong kind of completed. These ones, uh, battle royales. Here we go. Here are the actual teams. I wish I could sort them by something else. Um, you cannot. Okay. So what's my highest projected now? This one, the Dolson one, probably. The Dolson one, wow, the Dolson one has Hayes in it, and it has a 0 in it projected for 175. So yeah, when you put in the 23 or whatever you would put for Hayes, 22, 20, 20 for Hayes to be conservative, that's 195. That's definitely one of my best. Besides that one, what else we got here? Oh yeah, my family's in town. Gotta make sure that's not what any of these texts are about. Oh, okay. All right, I gotta talk to my family. Remember, you're good enough, you're strong enough. And guys started, someone's got to win that money. Might as well be yes.